It's good to see you guys. Excited, ready for this week. It's a big week for us. There's energy here at practice and good focus. I thought the team is in a good place. When you put everything into account, I think they know what this week means, and a lot of respect for our opponent and the season they've had and the personnel they got. And know it's going to be a four-quarter fight to get a win. And so ready to give it everything we got. Take any questions you guys got.
I guess with everything on the line, senior day, bowl game, how do you try to bounce back after the last two games?
Just go 1-0 every day. What does it take to go 1-0 today? It takes, hey man, I'm intentional in meetings. There's no school this week, so there's locked out. So there could be a lot of phone time. There could be a lot of outside stuff that gets on the inside. There could be, hey, this season, so I'm going to be doing this in a week, or I'm going to be going here, or I'm going to be all these other things. So all of that's got to be kept out. The focus has to be on what I need to do today. Practice would look like, man, I'm deciding to bring some juice. I'm not just going to go out there and just feel it. I'm going to make a decision to bring some energy. It would take intentionality in practice. The things that we're not doing good, let's really focus on those things. It would take being able to communicate and be on the same page so that when we're going over our correction plays or we're installing new plays, that, hey, everyone's aligned, everyone's together. And so, if you wanted to win, the practice would look a certain way. If you really didn't care about the result, the practice would look a different way. And so very much to align with wanting to win and wanting to get something out of each day, and to go 1-0 each day is how you do it. Yeah, try to stack those wins.
What have the talks with the offense been like after that second half, and how have you seen maybe Sawyer carry himself throughout this last, could be his last game as Baylor Bear?
Yeah, he's very motivated. And I think frustrated, and followed closely with very motivated. I think, we have to find a way to where defense and offense plays together. You look at that first quarter of this game that we played. Offense is moving it down. That first drive especially is probably one of our fastest scoring drives of the season, and that second drive was a much longer drive, but scored the equal number of points. Defensively, we're giving up this pass, we have this PI, and we're just not able to execute on all 11 guys. Defense is one guy away, two guys away, and it's a 14-0 head start. You look at the third quarter, I don't know, what was it, 3 drives where the defense is putting them back, offense back on the field, and offensively we couldn't do anything with it. So it's one side's up, the other side's down. The other side gets up, the flip goes down. And so we have to build a play consistently that way where we create some momentum and back each other up. We've done that in spurts. We've done that for, I guess, maybe one game. We're going to need to do it in this one. It's a team with a lot of belief that we're playing, and a lot of motivation. You can see it on tape, and so we're going to have to match that.
Dave, I wasn't at the post game, so I know you answered the question about Dr. Livingstone's release on Friday. What would you say to the stakeholders, fans, donors, boosters, everybody, why this can get better? Because this is the second time you've been extended, or you've been given that lifeline. What can you say that it's going to get better?
I think there is a great want to, determination, a great collective ownership of guys on this team. And I think that they very much want to build breakthrough this ceiling of not getting wins. I think there is great motivation, and when we go through games, man, we're just, these scores of these last two are not entirely indicative of the fight that's going on. We're in it, and then it kind of breaks loose, and I think the guys know how close we are, and I think being in the game with NIL and just everything that it entails to take it even further, I think would push the product on the field even more. And so I think you take a group of guys that are talented and love Baylor and want to represent and are doing everything right and are really close to breaking through, and then you take a real concerted effort to win recruiting battles and to bring in even more talent. I think you have the ingredients to win. And, I think at the heart of it is guys that really care and are really sacrificing. And under hard circumstances, I think it's hard for all sides, but they're really fighting hard. So, I very much want to see this team win. And, this game here is way important, to be able to do that and be able to celebrate Baylor football. There hasn't just been very much of that, and we haven't really earned it. And so I very much want that for our team.
Do you understand the disconnect and frustration? I mean, you try to keep out the outside noise, but do you feel it? Do you understand the level of it?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think that probably came with me just not opening up as much as I probably I should have. I just think probably kept the media away too much, and I think that was probably a bad result. But I think the stuff that's taken out on me is one thing, and then when you take it out on the team, it's like a whole other thing, and it just doesn't feel right when it's that way. Whether it's collective team or certain players or certain side of the ball, because we've got great guys, and we've got dudes that are really committed to doing it the right way, and so I stand with them.
It's kind of your MO, Spav's MO, but was there discussion about kicking the field goal there in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, so that was the recommendation on that was to kick it. Yeah, and so I think there's a certain yard range you have to be in, and then there's a certain distance that has to go to where it's like, hey, this makes sense to go for it, or this makes sense to kick it, and we were clearly in the kick zone. Yep.
Dave, have you had conversations with Dr. Livingstone related to that Friday announcement, and if yes, what have those conversations been like?
Not since then. I think it's very much been, she's doing what she does, and we're very much trying to do what we need to do here.
Anything prior?
No.
What do you think Sawyer's legacy at Baylor is going to be? Because obviously he's meant a lot to this team and the program. What do you think he's leaving behind?
He's leaving behind a guy that way cares, a guy that's totally committed, a guy that is a great leader and is a great ambassador of Baylor, and is someone that really is focused on doing what's right for the school, for the team. For him, it's very much bigger than himself.
Coach Aranda, do senior classes take on their own character, and if so, what's been this class's character that you appreciate?
Resilience. Resilience. I think under stress, under negativity, under adversity, resilience.
When you look towards Houston, that side of the ball, what do you see out of Connor Wigman? Obviously, no stranger to Central Texas at A&M, but now at Houston.
He's comfortable in the pocket. I think he can identify coverage, rotation, and throw the ball to the open guy. I think he's got ability to scramble, make plays when there's stuff not early apparent in the down where there's guys open. And I think there's more and more as the seasons progress, more and more design quarterback runs where he's got a lot of yards, and they've been able to run the ball and win some games with him as a leading rusher.
How much are you guys focusing on that maybe after facing a lot of dual threat quarterbacks this
All of it, yeah. I think it's a they make a concerted effort. Houston does to run the football, and so I think to stop the run is really the thing. Offensively, I mean they've got a really good tight end. They've got a really good slot receiver, and so their pieces are a little bit more inside. Their guys on the outside got some length, and if you single them up, there's an ability for them to make a play. But I think it all starts with stopping the run.
Dave, they've obviously stumbled a couple times here late, but what's been the difference between Houston last year and this year?
Offensively, running the ball. I think defensively, they can stop people, and they can get quarterbacks where they're confused. I think they have a good turnover ratio. I think special teams, they're really sound and they make you work. But I think offensively, they're running the ball and they're scoring points.
Could be the last game for a lot of key players. I'm sure they want to end on a win. How do you do that against a talented team like Houston?
We got to try to win today, and then we had to stack today's win with tomorrow's. And it's just some of the stuff that's coming up here, just the questions and just the keeping the focus on what we have to do to win this game. I just think we are battling a little bit, just not being in class and just not a normal routine, because a lot of times the outside things find a way to creep in a little bit more when you have more time to yourself. And so I think it's going to take a real intentional approach to get the type of week we need.
Dave, in-state team, last game before signing day, hopefully trying to make a bowl game. How important is this game from a recruiting perspective?
It's a good one. It's important. It's important to get a win. It's important versus the team that we recruit against a fair amount, recruit a lot of the same guys. And so some of the battles here this last year came down to us and Houston somewhere in that mix. So I think it is important.
Dave, you had the best year in Baylor football history the second year.
And it's the right prior to the end of the half, and we're in a 2-minute drive, and he catches a ball on their sideline and has to break 2 tackles, I want to say, to get out of bounds so that we can get on the field, kick a field goal. When whatever circumstance there is, he rises to the occasion, and he does it in such a way that just exudes class and integrity, and I think it's just so representative of everything that Baylor's about, and so we're going to miss him greatly.
Dave, turnovers have been a big issue these
Yeah.
last few games. How do you get that fixed, and just how critical is that going to be?
It's a huge piece. I think Houston has a corner that particularly is a ball hawk, and they've got linebackers that punch the ball, and I think it's been the lack of our defense getting takeaways, and then offensively, you look at that fourth quarter, B-Wash breaks through second level, has contact, 2 hands on the ball as he's supposed to, and he spins out of that looking for more, and as he spins, an arm comes off, and then that's when the ball's out. So I think it's just more attention to those details when it matters most. I think when you are bitten by kind of the turnover bug, it gets all the way in there, and so we've got to go all the way in there to get it out. Whether it's we're past the first contact of stuff, we're now into the second or third contact, where the guy like B-Wash is going to fight everybody for that extra yard or two, but he has to fight everybody for that extra yard or two with the right technique from start to finish, and so it's going to take that.
Another senior that's kind of grown into a leadership role, Devin Bobby. How has he grown into that role since from he got here to where he is now? Because he seems like a pretty important player for your defense.
Really strong leadership. I'm just so proud of just his maturity, and I think Devin always had a voice. I don't know if he knew how strong his voice was, and I think he kind of allowed himself to be the guy that I guess he always was. I think he would dismiss the fact that if he spoke up or said something, that guys would listen to him and guys would follow him, and so I think he fully recognizes the power that he's got, and I'm way proud of him. I think he's one of the most improved guys we got on our team from last year to this year, and this game's going to be a big game for him and for us.
Dave, as you look ahead to next year, what would you change going forward? Maybe, I think I've seen some stuff of just about fans maybe wanting some authenticity, you know, maybe in acknowledging what's going on. What would you change heading into next year, and just based on what you've done in the past?
I think team-wise, we are going to have to really rebuild certain groups, and so I think the use of the portal and high school recruiting would be used towards that. But you know, outside of that, really, I mean, that'd be a great question to kind of dive into after this game. After hopefully we get a win.
Dave,
Okay.
I guess the one that I was thinking about earlier when I was asking about going forward and kicking it was when Sawyer threw the interception to the end
Okay.
zone. Was there discussion about kicking then, or you just felt like it was a good enough position to go ahead and go for it?
Oh yeah, that was a go then. The interception you're talking about? Yeah.
Was there discussion about field goal or?
No, a lot of those things are done prior to that drive. If say like, hey man, if we get to here, then it's green all the way. Now, if we don't get to here, this is where we got to be thinking field goal. So you know that prior to the drive. So there's a discussion there, I guess, but it's very quick. And then once you move past that, we're trying to get the points. Okay, thank you guys.